Hi everyone, welcome to another episode ng Kumustahan sa Zoom. My name is Deo and I am from Rooting for You. Dito tayo nakikipag-kumustahan sa mga international students about their journey in being an international student. Today, I am excited to be introducing to you one of our clients that just recently got their student visa successfully. So we'll talk about yung process, we'll talk about yung experience nila, we'll talk about tips as well that they can share with you. So I am very excited about this conversation. Doon sa mga hindi nakakaalam, Rooting for You is an education agency, education consultancy provider. So that means we do three things. So basically, we give you study pathway advice and yung mga courses that best suit you to apply for. We also assist you with enrollment and we connect you with the best education providers. And dun sa visa application stage, we refer you to our preferred migration agent. So, with no further ado, Gab, welcome to Kumustahan sa Zoom.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. How do you feel?
Right now, I am excited and at the same time nervous.
Actually, Gab, we are interested. I'm pretty sure do sa mga nanonood na aspiring international students, they are very excited to hear from you. No, kasi do sa mga aspiring international students, yung process of being an international student from collection of information, enrollment application to visa application, it's all like it's daunting kasi ang laking task, di ba? Pero thank you so much for lending us your time para ma-inform din yung mga aspiring international students what to expect if they are wanting to pursue their dream. So, do you want to, Gab, do you want to introduce yourself to our audience? Ano yung, before mag-explore do sa pagiging international student, ano yung ginagawa mo sa Philippines? Saan ka naka-base? Just introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Gabriel Pido. I'm located or situated talaga in Negros, Hinigaran. And then I graduated as a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology. And I've worked in Manila for 5+ years. And then, I've transferred or relocated in Manila. So I can follow my career path as an IT. And then, for a very long time, na stuck ako sa the same position and same company, which is I would want to explore more and be able to climb up the stair of my career.
That's awesome. And aside from your employment, Gab, I'm pretty sure our audience would be interested to know na you have two businesses. Do you want to talk about those two businesses? I-plug mo na rin.
Yeah, so thank you for that. First business is Iskina Bistro. This is a bistro and we serve foods, drinks, and usually beverages. From alcohols to foods, you usually go to for during afternoon, during your leisure time and your free time. So that is our first business. And then the second one is D-Box. D-Box is a school and office supplies, and this one was recently established. These businesses was started during pandemic, as far as I can remember, during pandemic. And since we need to acquire some financial support, so we decided to convert our Lola's place to a business. So luckily, fortunately, we were successful with our venture and was to accumulate much finances to be able to fund my dreams to go to Australia.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Ang busy-busy mo, no? You have two businesses. Yung Eskina is yun nga, yung food and restaurant industry. Tapos yung isa pang business is school supplies. Tapos mag-aaral pa si Gab furthering his study. So he will be studying diploma and advanced diploma in information technology, major in telecommunications, network engineering. Tama ba?
Right.
Perfect. Great. Great. Do you want to tell our audience, Gab, kung saan nagsimula yung dream of being an international student?
When I was working pa sa CBRE, I was sent sa Brisbane. That was the time that I started to think that if there is a chance for me to be able to study or work, but maybe just study, because I have parents here in the Philippines. I would want to be with them for a very long time. So I am not really that fixed in like staying in Australia or fixed in staying in Philippines.
So
So
when did you come here? When did you go to Brisbane?
that was September. I think around September 9,
Which year?
2017.
Oh,
Just
wow.
I was recently employed by the company, and since the account of CBRE is a new account, they've offered me to go to Brisbane for a tour visit for on the site. This is a company for facility manager, like property management. So CBRE is a property real estate company,
Yeah.
commercial property company.
Okay, so
So
that was 6 years. You stayed sa Brisbane. How long?
that would only be 1 week.
1 week. And then, all right, and then dun nagsimula yung interest to perhaps study. Doon sa mga hindi nakakaalam, kasi marami sa audience natin is really gathering information, etc. That's why they will be watching this. Do you want to describe the process? Maybe in a nutshell.
I think everyone would experience the same with whichever agency you're going to. It's going to be tedious, meandering. It's going to take a lot of time. But I think with routing for you, you guys were able to make it much more easier, and with all the information that you provide, it made it much more easier for me to understand what are the things that I need to do. And even before I knew those information, you give it first for me to have a head start on what to expect and what should be done. So you guys are providing so much information and assisting, making sure that it is up to date, all your documents that you're up to date, and what are the requirements. Routing for You is also the best and one of the recommended agency that I would recommend. Really reliable, and yeah, they're going to make it much more easier for you. You just have to wait and comply with all the documents. Nothing else. You just have to do it, and then after that, a few days or a few months, you will be able to go to Australia.
And thank you so much for those kind words, Gab. I think you're right. Kasi sabi ko nga din sa introduction ko, it's a process, no? And it's a very new process para sa marami. And that's really the purpose of Rooting for You. You set the expectation of the applicant. Ano yung mga kailangan, ano yung process, ano yung mga documents, so that we can work together. Kasi sabi ko nga sa'yo, nung nag-thank you ko sa email, sabi ko nga sa'yo, you also lifted your weight. So, same way na nag-thank you ka sa akin, I want to thank you for being such a delight to work with. No? Kasi I felt your trust. Do you want to maybe share your thoughts on that? Ano yung mga ginawa namin sa Rooting for You that earned your trust dun sa throughout the process?
I think yun yung providing information beforehand and giving it like on a layman's term that I will be able to get it right away, because words that are unknown sometimes can be confusing. But you guys are providing this by step 1, this is you're going to do. Step 2, this is what will happen, and so on and so forth.
Do you wanna say perhaps points of anxiety? Yung meron bang part sa process na parang kinabahan ka? Or kasi the reason why I ask this is I want to normalize this. Do you wanna share na meron bang points of anxiety doon sa process?
On sa process naman, I think uh, there's no emotion or anxiety towards complying with all the documents and then the processes. Uh, but I think if there is one, would be the GTE.
Mm.
Uh, but that one is easy, and then was able to comply with all the documentations. I guess as long as I was providing all the documents on time, I won't gonna have that much anxiety, because every time that I take too long, I do think that I might be left behind, and am I just going to be stuck in some areas that or I mean onto the process. I guess the anxiety would be the day that you're going to be going to Australia. I guess that's anxiety. But the process, it's all but the same. Just comply, provide all the information, the
Yeah.
documentation, those TORs, diploma. It's all about the same documents. But
Yeah. Binanggit mo yung ano, yung GTE, which is yung part ng client basically is to provide yung documents. Pero taking a step back pa doon, we did go through a first planning meeting. Remember that? So we interviewed you, ano yung mga responses mo sa genuine temporary entrant GTE response. Tapos we asked you certain questions, tapos naglista tayo ng mga required documents, ano yung kaya mong i-provide, gano'n. So, doon pa lang, you gave us the answers. Tapos, the reason why we have those, we help our clients as well to put their responses on paper. Kasi, hindi kasi lahat is gifted, or maybe you're gifted at writing, pero not everyone is gifted
right.
at. So we just made it a policy na we'll just interview the client, and then we'll be the one to put it on paper. Tapos after nung first planning meeting, meron ng clear list of documents na magiging checklist,
Right.
both mo and sa amin. Let's talk about yung waiting for the visa. Tell me how you handled that.
Waiting game was not really a big deal. I was just like expecting the worst. I mean, hoping for the best and expecting the worst. So,
Planning, preparing
right.
for the worst.
You're preparing for the worst. I
Um,
forgot the word for that. But yeah, so I was just expecting that. Hopefully, with all these efforts and all the struggles and the yeah challenges that we have to go through, we will be able to. I would be able to pass the visa.
All right, let's talk about nung visa approved. Can you please tell our audience yung story of when you um, got informed, and then reaction, ano nangyari?
Ayan. There's only two things that got into my mind the moment that you called. This one may be like an important and urgent information that you are going to providing. So yeah, which is right. And the moment that you tell me that congratulations was the time that I was excited and quite nervous. Yeah, but the most emotion that I have that night was I'm saddened that I'm going to be leaving behind my brother and then as well as my mother.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be on their own for like for years. I was grateful for the news, but yeah, I was most of the time saddened that, oh my goodness, I'm going to be leaving them behind. There's a lot of things that needs to take into account, and so many things that needs to be organized before I leave the business, because I was the one who is going to be I was the one doing all the inventories, all the step by step, and all the methods that they're going to do in the system. And as well the designing, I was also assigned with that. The emotion is actually overwhelming. A lot of emotions.
Yeah.
You're sad, you're happy, and then you're excited, you're nervous, you're anxious, and yeah.
As we wrap up, as we close this episode of Kumustahan sa Zoom, again, I want to thank you. But basically, perhaps I want to ask you, if you have talking to aspiring international students from the Philippines, meron ka ba mga tips as someone na have gone through the process, tapos successfully, became an international student, you're flying here, is in less than a week, in just a few days. Meron ka ba mga tips para sa aspiring international students?
Just comply all the documents that is requested. Provide as much information as well, and take time to decide, or give it a time to for like processing. Like when we're talking about processing it, you need to have a set of time for that, since your visa is depending on to how much you give your effort and your time. And yeah, there's almost a lot to take into consideration. And I guess dreams sometimes do really need financial support for you to be able to proceed.
All right. Thank you, Gab, na nakapagkwentuhan tayo dito sa Kumustahan sa Zoom. We enjoyed hearing from you about your adventure, your journey from 6 years ago, having that idea planted and now having your visa approved. It's been a pleasure working with you and assisting you to make your dream come true. Thank you so much. For everyone else, alam ko na nag-enjoy kayo sa pakipagkwentuhan natin kay Gab. Next episode, may international student na naman tayo mga kamusta. We'll hear from them yung journey nila coming here to Australia and ano yung realities about the process. So that's all from me today. Again, my name is Teo from Rooting for You. See you next time. Thank you.
Rooting for you. It's your way.